how's it going? I'm trying to do this live stream with a light blaring in my face. The background must be peculiar. It's just sort of where I'm staying, but I'm sort of being stubborn because when I was sitting here this morning, I was like, no, the ambiance isn't that good. It's not that nice. It was morning in the place, and I decided not to stream because it was just like not a good ambiance. And so then when I left, the energy just changed, whereas now I just wanted to do it. I wanted to do it again from this location because it's more convenient. It's like home. It's like home, and like when I leave the location, a lot of things and dynamics seem to shift. And so it's just interesting, and I'm trying to speak to the original intention from this morning to do this, because like this morning it was just better energy, and it's hard to describe. Once you change the locations, your energy shifts. And so here we are. It's still not the most ideal ambient situation. I think for the next one I'll actually face that direction because it's a little bit better of a background and such things, but you get the idea. Oh, I'm doing it. I did it. I had to do it. Like, I had to just follow through because I'm sitting here again, and throughout the day I was like, gosh darn it, why didn't I do it this morning? Because the energy was where it was. And the last stream that I did that talked about note-taking and editing and such things from the park was more so like, it worked, but it just wasn't like the same energy. Like right now, it's a little more just home style energy. So, you know, that's the intention, is to just follow through with that energy. After all, it's like really kind of, yeah, that mojo. And so tomorrow morning, I guess, or whatever, sometime in the day, I'll try to do another one from this location because it's just easier to just continue to go and do it from this space. We'll see about that. But that's the intention, because we want to do more actually like of these videos that have this title in the title. So that's actually the intention, is to just push out more content, distributing, talking about animals and animal awareness, not animal awareness, but what's it called? Animal shelter awareness, fostering awareness, and things like that. So this is a little peculiar. I can see almost nothing except the light that's in my face, so it actually makes it more difficult to not just look at the light also, which is probably strange for what it's worth. Whatever I look like makes it look like make myself be a bit strange, like my face, like because it's just a light all up in my face, so it's just like hard to not have a peculiar expression. But hopefully it works itself out, and whatever, doesn't matter, because I'm still in the phase. It's been a long ass road, for what it's worth. It's just been a long road, that's what I meant to say. And there's still no people at the other end of any of the content that I make. And it's my own, in many ways, my own fault. But at the same time, there's, you know, conscious efforts that are attempting to be had, such as an attempt at starting a Roku channel and just more things like this, so that like there's just more an ability to do more. It's really like, it's less about the content, because that's not true, but it's more about the situations, just like now, where I'm talking about the energy being right to be able to do content. Like that's one of the hardest parts, because it's like you feel good enough to do it, and if I don't feel good enough to do it, I don't usually do it. And when I went to the park earlier today, after leaving this location, I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't feel like it any longer. And it's part of also the reasons why I've been here for as long as I have, a couple of weeks, about maybe a bit over, yeah, a week or so-ish and a half. And so I just didn't feel like it in the past. So like, I don't know why I expected it to change. It was because I felt like it when I was sitting here. So it's really like an energy thing. Dinky Tech as a whole is an energy thing. Like spiritual finance is an energy thing. Philanthropy energy is an energy thing. These are all the types of elements trying to come forward in terms of doing content, and it's just starting and pushing off of like a foundational foot. I mean, a philanthropic foot, to be able to just spin off content, to be able to bring awareness, and then like, you know, in an ideal sense, philanthropy, like collaborations in art
or whatever to like focus on philanthropy has a greater sense for like a way to bring about more business also, like bringing on more business through the use of philanthropic energy is sort of one of the backdrops, basic interests of spiritual finance also. And more things of this nature, like meaning like spiritual finance is just all about like getting energy from everywhere and being able to recontextualize it and like have like quantum leaps, quantum mentality, shifts that just transport because you're open to it. If you're open to it, it's like an open vessel, and it's mentally being, looking at numbers in terms of things that aren't usually looked at in terms of numbers, and just really focusing internally to be able to try to transport and transpose into different places, and just ways to be able to open up mentalities that speak to different assets, and building assets was what, business relates to. And like at the back end is like, a philanthropy mindset. And that's, just, I literally just turned this camera on and the light is a little bit distracting in my eyes, but I just wanted to come with a little bit better energy to begin with, even though this isn't really ideal energy at all. Like this isn't even an effective live stream, but I'm okay with that because I want to do more and more like content again, but then have context to where I'm also pre-recording stuff to try to push things out in a more effective distributed fashion, like a Roku channel. I can kind of see a reflection off of the window as to how lit this the camera is and such things. It doesn't matter. This is like a default live stream for me. I don't really care about this one. I just again wanted to do it. I was feeling a little stubborn, like just like follow through from this morning type of thing, and like I don't know if I end up keep doing it from here because it's just like maybe a comfortable space or something, even though it's very ironic because it's not a comfortable space. And I've been out of here for the most part 99% of the time because of that reason, because it's like actually not very home-like, but because there's nature on the balcony, I'm leveraging the nature aspect on the balcony, which makes it more homely to leverage that little piece of nature, because that's where I prefer to, consider that as home anyway. But yeah, the Tokyo vibes are like chill in the meantime, and I really have had an ambition to just bring more of the vibes through the pre-recorded content and making a vlog like that, but my energy has not been fantastical. I'm trying to connect with more people in the world to also have like Zoom podcast interviews and such, but my energy has not been right. I haven't been connected in the right ways, and still trying to push to do that as a whole, to get connected with the right energies, the right people, like a core team. Like it's just one step at a time, like trying to push for, I just have to see, it's one step at a time. There's ambition, and then there's what the market accepts, like just doing some weird music content, and then just, it's all inclusive, there's just a lot of energy in the media space these days. So definitely a lot of overlapping eyeballs, and yeah, for that reason it's just necessary to work on the consistency, but also focus on the causes at the back end. The causes are really what is just the thing to just continue to push things forward. And so I hope to stick with the shelter animals thing, because it's just kind of like a necessity to focus on, that hopefully being improved if possible anyway, like if people can be receptive and understand just the benefits, mutual benefits of fostering, and like in a basic sense, try to gravitate to that mindset and some of the content that is able to continue to be made and such, like, maybe an attempt at some more stand-up comedy, some more music stuff, like a little DJ set that was a couple days ago, and just kind of warming things up in that sense, I guess. It's not really ideal sound, but it's sound, like we did like an impromptu DJ set or whatever. And so that, and then also spiritual finance. So we got your church, your comedy and your sound making. So it's kind of all inclusive in the Dinky Tech Church, even though it's just a church parody or whatever type of a brand, which is kind of a joke. But Change for Game Studios is the greater brand, interest. Like that's like, yeah, Dinky Tech is like the character within Disneyland, for example, and Change for Game Studios is like Disneyland. So that's the greater company. That's how we hope to extend to the world with this same mindset, if you will, and like try to scale to other countries. And we'll just have to see how it all goes, because we really want to connect to greater, conceptual world vibes, if you will, if possible, through collaborations. We'll have to see how it all goes. It might just boil down to me just doing, stupid stuff for day to day. I don't know what I mean. I don't want to finish that sentence, but I just mean like just doing like, other things that are misdirected, like that are not aligned with the brand in essence. It just depends, it depends on being able to do this type of thing more and more often, and connect with audiences, actively seek out audiences, not just make content with myself with 0 viewers, but actively connecting with the greater audiences, if possible, which has just starting doing a walking DJ set was one of the first times kind of actually trying to do that, and that's just been like the last couple months trying to turn that around. So distribution is the focus, almost before content making. It's not even really almost, it is the priority, but it's also content making, because you have to have something to distribute. So just trying to, just got to keep trying to keep the wheel turning, the flywheel, if you will, and such things. So we'll just have to see how it goes down and such, and trying to connect with circles and different energies around the world to be able to perpetuate, not just in collaborations, but just also try to encapsulate like potential energy through something called circles, to just encapsulate potential energy. Anyways, all of this might completely be unaudible, I'm just realizing, because of this silly thing, which actually was connected to my other phone listening to music, but I'm just now realizing, because the music stopped, that it might have caught this phone when I started recording on it, and as a result it's just going to be muddled, murky, unaudible sound, because the microphone's broken on this, and it will just be a waste of time doing this video. But that's fine, because at least we've got something on the internet for the last 10 minutes. But it's really strange anyways looking, and especially it'll sound terrible if the microphone on this works. So anyways, we'll sign off for now. Dinky Tech, thanks, peace. Thanks. Dinky Tech, peace.